Good morning everyone, welcome back to another video. So we've got a very interesting day lined up. A few interesting tasks need to be completed.
Lots.
Yeah.
Lots of interesting tasks that continue.
Yep.
Yeah, yesterday in the sign-off, obviously we got overexcited again because Michael did his lovely rendition. So what we meant to say was we finished the swell putting all the pipes in. We didn't get to putting the flap mechanism in, which we're going to do first thing. That's the first job. The next job is there's a leak or a crack, like on the front.
A big crack,
yeah.
So you're right there, Nick. Anyway, let's crack on everyone. Let's do it. So I'm gonna start passing these swell flaps to Nick, and they're all numbered. So this is number 1, we've got number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, once the swell flaps are in, we're gonna operate them quickly, aren't we, mate?
Yeah, we're gonna check.
Make sure it all works, and then we're gonna start on other things, so yeah.
Hang on. Right, so hold on. That goes just in there like that. Can you see that hole?
Yeah.
Slot it in there, that's it.
Okay.
That's one.
Good.
Oh no, V's here, sorry.
What?
That's the wrong one, I think it's just this one. That's the one before.
IV.
I've messed up everyone.
This is IV. Hold on, 1, 2,
read.
1, hold on.
That one goes above this
3,
one.
4, no. That's 3, no, this is right, IV.
Well, I've just got a V here.
Yeah, that's 5.
Can't read.
No, it's Roman numerals, darling.
Can't read Roman numerals.
So IV is 1 before 5.
No.
And then the next one
I've got an IV here.
No, you've got VI.
VI, sorry.
So that's 5 and then 1. Every day's a school day.
Every day is a school day.
You're never too old to learn. Right. And so now you should have VII.
VII, yeah.
Wicked.
This is the biggest flap of them all.
We're going in the right direction. It doesn't go the bigger the number, the bigger the flap, so unfortunately. That's it. You in?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yep. Doesn't look like that top one's going to fit, but I guess it does.
It will.
Yep. Who needs to go in there? Yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, yes. That's it. Good job. What's really interesting, I just said to Billy there were these 2 washers, and they're actually leather, made of really thick leather, and they just screw on the threads that stick out from this rod, so they don't rub, they're not going to damage this piece of wood. And now the mechanism, as you can see, is lovely and smooth. So it just stops this piece of wood from falling off. So that's what they were for, which is brilliant. I thought it would be a metal nut and a washer, but as it transpires, it's yeah, a beautiful old leather nut, which is very similar to the little leather nuts that we have, the buttons we have for all those trackers. So within keeping. Let's join it up and see if we can get them to work from the foot pedal. So if we get this one on first, hopefully the little dowels we made the other day will go through the fiddly bit. Kind of can't see the hole, unfortunately. I don't know if that's correct, is it? Yes, it is, it's cut that way. So there's one in, and then this one should. Yeah, so we need to, what we'll do is I'll repair this bottom one as it's just slightly off. Well, they don't, that's as far as it goes.
Is there a second set of holes? Or is it on the ones that's...
Yeah, okay. So, you know, that would make sense. We'll drop it, see if they go in them. Yep. Billy's great solution. What's on here, we have 2 holes. Not exactly sure what they're for, but now, as Billy said, because we've moved this, if he now puts his foot down, I think we'll get more movement on the flaps. Oh, yeah. I think that sussed it. Just like that, Billy sorts it. Okay, and then all I need to do is re-drill this, or try and tap this metal dowel out. I've got this rod, which I brought, so I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna lift this piece out and we'll do a repair, and I'm gonna put a dowel straight through there so that this, because at the moment it's not connected to anything. Billy, you on the pedal still? He gone. A moment of magic, and that's all he needs, and that's it. So, looks like it's just you and me, Alex.
Looks that way.
All right, well, let's do it. I just want to test something. I want you to put your foot down. Okay, is that gonna... Lovely. Okay, thank you. Whatever for. Right, let's take this down and do a repair.
What's going on?
What is going on, Billy, is that because you sussed out the lifting the mechanism up, we've got much more movement.
We're missing a hole. Not a hole, a rod.
A rod, a dowel.
A dowel, yeah.
So we're going to knock it out, and then we're going to replace it with a new one. But we can't do this and knock it that way because we'll just snap the end of the wood off. So we're going to put it on a block. Billy's going to hold it, and I'm going to gently encourage it to come out.
If I hold it, you hit it.
Yes.
On that hole there, or on the block?
On the block. And what we
Like
want...
that.
Yep, just like that.
Perfect.
So, beautiful. Oh, it's in there.
Oh, it is in there.
Hold
isn't
on
it?
to you there.
That's it, that's better.
Beautiful.
We've just got to make a longer version of that.
So now I'm going to hopefully get my rod that we had yesterday and, yeah, make a longer one. Still a bit fat, isn't it? So this has got to be tight, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's going to go in there. That will drive in there, and that'll be really, really nice and snug. But what I need to do is just make sure that I can get it. But what I'll do, it's not critical that the other end is a little bit bigger. So what we're going to do is leave that exactly like that. That's going to be beautiful. And then on the other end, we're just going to enlarge or just clean out the hole in the flap on the mechanism, and that will just be good. Right, let's do it. So this is the little L dowel I made earlier to join this mechanism, which is perfect. Sorry, it's not perfect. It needs a little bit of trimming on the end. But it only needs trimming because now we're actually going to utilise this bottom one, which was broken. It wasn't at the cathedral, and you can see by the damage on the pin that it hadn't been connected for a while. So it makes sense to, if it's here and it's an actual piece that moves, we need to have it moving because that's another bit of the sound that will be let out by the flaps opening. So yeah, we're doing our repair. I've cut the dowel. I've actually just kind of brightened it and got rid of the outer bit. This is a bit tight, so I'm just going to clean. I don't want to drill this out, so I've got a smaller drill piece, and I'm just going to clean the mating surfaces, if you like, so this will go in. It would go in if you really pushed it, but we don't want it to be too tight because this is part of the movement of the mechanism, so we'll just clean it. So that's getting there now, a little bit more. And I'll do a bit from your side. Right. That's perfect. So it's just a nice snug fit. There was a little bit of elongation on the thing, but that's good. Right, that's going to be nice. So if I can actually get that out, should go through, yeah. So that's perfect. That's a nice snug fit, but it's not. It's just, and it'll wear in. It's going to bed in, so that'd be cool. Right, let's do it. When we removed the dowel, we placed a nice flat surface under here so we could drive it out without snapping this. This is been jointed into this piece of wood, and if we just go to drive the dowel in there, it will try and snap it off, or it will damage it. So we need to support this edge, and the best way to do that, we've got the vise. If we line it up, I can actually get Yanis to balance one end, and we'll get a nice fixing. It's going to be nice and tight in that joint, but it's not going to damage this. Okay, if you can just go the other. Okay, so if we can somehow have it like that, that would be grand. Okay, just can you hold it there?
Yeah.
Sure?
Sure.
Good. That should be about right. Perfect, right, got it? That's good. That's still good. Let's have a look how far we get. That's good. We continue. That's good. That'll do there. Perfect. Lovely. So we now have the dowel, and because it was tight, if it was too big, it would have just split this wood on top. So we've got a really nice fixing. We've got a lovely repair. Now we can put it in and watch it work. So good job.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That is, you what? I can't it, what? It's amazing. No, it's well.
Well, hello everyone. I'd love to introduce to you my friend Darcy. She's a viewer and she's from Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
And it's funny because I'm upstairs at the minute and I was just sorting out the first prints to go out, and we noticed that this one is also in Austin, Texas, and Darcy said, well, you tell them.
I am going to land on Friday evening, and we are going to hand deliver this to Pamela. We won't give out her last name. And we're going to see if she would like to unwrap these prints, and I'll video it from that end.
So it's on the way home from the airport, and if your name is Pamela, you live in Austin, and you've ordered one of each of the prints, then they're going to be hand-delivered late Friday evening if you're at home. If you're not, well, they'll just go in the mailbox, but if you're around, so that's for you. And I'd just like to say we've probably only got about 20 of these left. And if you would like to order them, there's still time to get them before Christmas. But once they're gone, they're gone. And they won't all be hand delivered. But if you order today, they'll be with you by Christmas. And there you go. So don't forget the website is doingitourselves.com. And there's a link in the description. And we've sold almost all of them. So that means we can start restoration on the chapel ceiling and we can finish the organ for Christmas. So I'd just like to thank everyone who bought one and anyone who will buy one, thank you as well. So there you go. And Darcy, it's been lovely having you here and we'll hope you come back soon. And just give everyone a Petherick hug in Austin for us.
I will.
Before we can install the pipes or plant the pipes in the great organ, we have a little problem. The slider on this side that opens the holes to let the wind in and out, and the end of it is broken off, so it needs to be glued back together with some very strong glue. And Nick and I, what are you telling Nick what we're doing?
What we're doing, we're taking the whole top off so we can get the slider out. And then the plan is that we, as Michael said, we glue it because it was an old injury, if you like, of the organ. So there was a crack in it. It had been repaired, but it wasn't. So it needed attention, and we knew that. But we were trying to get to the stage where we could have this wind chest in, because there were lots of all those connections underneath here are all those seesaws which go onto the trackers and all the other bits. So now, it's not a big repair, but we also have that issue with the B, the note B, and that's
Ciphering.
And what we're going to do is we'll have a look in here, but also we're going to take off the panel in front of Michael like we did on the rear wind chest, and I think he's got to do his work his magic.
In the roof of, not under here, but under where the pallets are, there is the wood is lined with strips of what I don't know what it is. It's not leather. It might be leather, but it looks to me more like a sort of a canvas.
Yeah,
And it's glued in strips to the top. And in the rear wind chest, the swell, it was actually, there was a horizontal crack in that whatever it is, canvas, and that was allowing air into the channel for the whole set of notes along the wind chest. So I had to. Unfortunately, we couldn't disassemble the entire thing, so I had to very carefully remove all the pallet springs and move everything out of the way, and I had to sort of do some keyhole surgery to repair it. But we did it.
And we're thinking that this is the same.
We think that's the same. I think there's a crack in there, which I'll have to do the same.
So on-site repair.
Yeah.
In the field.
With some magic repair stuff. There we go.
That's it, isn't it? So this,
I think that's all of it.
when we lift this up,
the screws in this don't come out.
yeah, when we lift this up, you'll see the whole slider mechanism. You've got one in the end there.
There's one here still. Wait there. Okay, so we remove it, Nick.
Yep.
Just lift it off very carefully.
Okay. Oh yes, so it's all. So this is the slider that opens and closes the holes, and they become the same as this. And what it is on this end is where the damage is. So we're going to lift it out, temporarily put this down to protect it, and then we can do the repair.
They are very, very thin and fragile. Like they're like
you hold it out.
wafer thin. Can you see that? They're very bendy. And in fact, that one, now I'm looking at it, could do with a bit more graphite anyway.
Okay.
Because I was just brushing the graphite on originally, and I've since found with the later ones that I've done that actually it's better to put it on your hand and then literally rub it in.
Yeah.
And it goes.
Work it in.
You have to work it in. You can't just brush it
Okay,
on.
I will take that to the repair area.
Yeah. Be careful with that. We can't make another.
Thank you. We wouldn't want to.
No. Right. So what I'm going to do is, while Nick does that, I'm going to take all of these screws, and because this slider is not in now, the holes are exposed inside, so we don't want any dust to get in. So we'll cover that up, just like that. And job's a good one.
Welcome back to the repair shop. This is the piece, the area in the chapel where, well, Michael's been doing stuff on here. It's where we make all the little, or repair any broken bits. This is the big slider now that needs repairing, and as you can see, it's completely broken. It had a repair with this piece of wood underneath, because there's another big bit of wood that comes up, and when you operate the stop, it slides it in and out. In essence, it was just held on by this, and it's just fallen off. These bits were never connected. So as you can see, when you put it together, you'd think that it would all just line up, but you can see here there's loads of material missing because it's just been flapping around. So what we need to do is try and tighten the joint up. What I'm thinking is that this bit of wood is stopping it going up, because they do look like they should line up, but they won't reach because someone's glued this piece of wood in here. So I'm going to carefully remove this and try and get it all to mate up, because if I can, it means I'll get a really good fixing. If not, I've got I've got some few wood filing or dust here. It's sawdust, if you like. I'll mix that with the glue and I'll fill any holes just to try and bind it all together. There is quite a pull, if you like, on this bit. So what we don't want to do is obviously have it coming off. But I think you can see here, there's the glue. So somehow we're going to have to encourage this piece of wood out, like I said, so we can get an even fixing over the whole lot. Because as I say, it looks from there, it looks like there's bits missing. But I think actually if we get that piece out, we can just slide it up a bit. It's just where, when it's in the box, you can't see this. So the person who saw the crack would have only been able to get to this bit, hence the reason why there's this plate on the bottom. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get too much joy from, even if I remove this, which I'll have to do, I've just got to, you can see there. So yeah, the difference is it's that tiny bit there, that edge that you can see needs to be flush with that edge, and that'll give us a good strong repair. So yeah, we couldn't, that's the other point. When we put it together, we can't put anything on here. This has to stay at this, we can't increase the thickness because this bit actually slides under the board. So it would be, if you like, futile to put a repair patch on top because it wouldn't work. So we've got to do a repair that ends up being exactly the same width as the very fragile slider board. So let's crack on.
So we have a problem. Some of the pipes along the top are playing by themselves when no keys are pressed, which is, we found out, is called a cipher. Now, the reason for that is inside this wind chest here, you have two sections. You have the bottom section, which has these little flaps, we'll call them like pallets, they're called pallets. And underneath each one, they have a spring which keeps them pushed up until which point they're pulled down by a wire, which is connected to the keys, which allows air to flow from here, up through there, and into here. And this is all separated by little channels that run from the front to the back of the organ, which allow, each one is a separate note. So in the roof, it's covered with, obviously I said earlier, I don't know if it's leather or canvas. It looks a bit like a sort of canvas, I'm not sure, but it has a crack in it from front to back. And, oh, my light's gone off. Anyway, you have to use the torch. But somebody has actually made a repair before, and what they seem to have done is they've actually got some hide glue and they've glued some of their business cards to the inside of here. So I can actually tell you who did the repair, but I won't. It was a little bit shoddy, the repair. And the only thing we can do, apart from completely taking apart this wind chest, which means taking the bottom off, disconnecting every single one of these wires all the way along, it's a huge amount of work. So I have got, which I used for the rear of the organ, I've got some special tape. Now, it does look like ordinary gaffer tape, but it is the most strongest tape I've ever used in my life. Now, this tape was actually at home, the greenhouse, when it had some panels of glass missing. Mo, he actually used some of this tape to tape in some panels of Perspex just to cover the holes that have broken glass. And after we had the whole greenhouse sandblasted and the whole thing had been painted, I realised that this tape was still on the metal, and it had been sandblasted and it hadn't come off. So we know that this tape is super strong and very hard wearing. I mean, i.e. it can be sandblasted and it won't come off. And it actually has a special reinforcing mesh layer. And it actually looks very similar to the stuff that's in the roof here, except the stuff in here is brown, this is black. But I did it on the rear Winchester. I got a piece and I very carefully removed some of these pallet springs out of the way, disconnected some wires and fed it in with a stick, pressed it up, and then fed my hand in very, very carefully and pushed it all in, and it's fixed the problem. So this will probably be here for decades, this tape, without any problems. And I felt a bit bad about using tape, but if they can just glue some old business cards in, I think we can use a piece of tape without any worries of offending anyone. But there is another crack which hasn't been addressed, which is also on this side. So I've got to very carefully feed tape in, close all the holes. But what I'm doing is I've got a stick here. One has got a piece of microfiber cloth, which is dipped in alcohol, which is to clean the area so there's no dust, so it's perfectly clean. And I've got one on the other end, which is dry, which is to dry it. So I'm going to get on with this, and hopefully we'll be able to install these pipes later on. So there you go.
So I'm back in the kitchen, everyone, and I'm finally sanding the island. So I was using the wrong sandpaper. I was using a grain which was too fine, and I'm meant to be using 120, and I've ordered it and it arrived yesterday. So I've actually started already. And with Osmo, you're meant to open the grain for the wood and the oil will seep in really nicely. So you can see that I've already done that half, and I've started up here as well. And basically this just means it will have a better finish, a really nice smoother finish, and yeah. So basically I'm actually sanding the Osmo off, which seems counterproductive, but in the end it will be fantastic. So got the palm sander, got my sandpaper, so we better crack on. So I've done the top now, it is much, much better. So I'm going to start doing the sides and the entire carcass of the island, and then tomorrow I'll probably start doing the doors. And then, once it's all done, we're going to Osmo it. I'm not going to Osmo it now, not the top now. I'm going to wait till it's all sanded and get it all done at once. So it will be a really nice transformation. So yeah, let's crack on.
This is Nick's fix down at the repair end of the chapel, and Michael's been doing a sterling job on the wind chest, what he was repairing the underneath, which he's done successfully. We just fired it up, fantastic job. So now we can actually crack on with all these other pipes, and here we've got boxes sorted of the pipes. So these are all the other lead pipes, so we've got 3 ranks. But the organ has 7, so the other ones are made up of these wooden elements. These are beautifully sounding pieces. They drop down into the wind chest, and where they drop down, they hook on with this piece here, and then they make up the difference with the seal that's on here. What's happened, we think, is that where we've moved it, the old glue has been compromised. So as you saw before me repairing them, it needs a little repair. Today, I didn't think anything of it because I saw Billy yesterday repairing one, and it was only when I started organising, because we've got them all now set out ready to go, that I noticed that it wasn't one, it's been probably 10 that I've done today. So a bit of an unforeseen, but a necessity because it's airtight, and it means that as we go to build and we progress forward, we're going to have really nice sounding pipes rather than those little air leaks, which all add up. We're going to do a smoke test, which we spoke about. Don't know when that's going to happen. We really want to keep progressing with the build. We know, because we've been working around the old girl, where she's got a few little air leaks, but the priority now is to get all the ranks in. And as you saw, we've done the repair on the slider, or it's gluing. We're going to leave it overnight so we get a really good fix. And then tomorrow we can put that in, and that's going to be the last one. And that's the slider we spoke about earlier. And I've got it rigged up and it's all clamped. So by tomorrow we should be good to go. So let's crack on with the next phase. Right, so another fruitful day. Michael's been...
Yeah, I've been up to the elbow in the swell box, and I've actually repaired 2 cracks in it, and it's all working. There's no air leaks, no ciphers now, and that will probably last a few decades, hopefully.
Yeah, at least. Yeah. And also, you saw we were going to leave the piece gluing overnight, but we're cracking on with putting all these pipes in, and we obviously had a massive air leak from where we'd taken the cover off. So as you saw, it's all back in, the slider's in place and protected. Yep. So we can now carry on and put the other ranks in.
Mm-hmm, we can. I quickly need to retune some of the front pipes because they were done before we adjusted the wind pressure, but apart from that, we'll be fine.
Yeah, we're good to go, aren't we?
We're good to go, yeah.
So, so that's it until tomorrow. I just want to say thank you all for the people that have come over from the Pethericks, the cooperative that is everything here, to our channel, to the Moons, because it's been very, very much appreciated. And as I said, it makes a difference, and you are changing the world.
Yep, it's well deserved.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.